just finished watching season 1 of the Netflix's new series, The Witcher, based off of the books, the games by CD Projekt Red. It stars Henry Cavill. I had a lot of fun watching this show. I'm very, very impressed with it. It's very, very happy with it. It's really respectful. But yeah, this is going to be my review for it. It's a season 1 review, so let's get into it. So season 1 of The Witcher, we get to see a lot of the characters we know and love, like Geralt of Rivia, played by Henry Cavill. We also get Ciri, Yennefer's in the show, Triss comes up. We also have Fringilla, who makes an appearance. There's also, too, at the last episode, I'm not going to say whose name drop, but there's a character from the games who's really, really big, who he gets a mention, too. So this series is really starting to set itself up for something really big. I think 8 episodes was kind of a bit of a tester to see how well fans were going to react to this series, and I think season 2 and everything from here on is going to be longer episodes and even to more episodes per season. But yeah, no, this first season did a really good job staying truthful to the source material. I've never read the books myself, but come from the games, everything from the visuals, the swordplay, the costume design in this series is pretty amazing. I was blown away sometimes at how detailed and how well it looked. But yeah, no, there's a lot in this series that is really, really faithful to what The Witcher is, and they did a really good job translating that from video game to the screen. Yeah, this series mainly follows Geralt of Rivia, who's a witcher, and what a witcher is it's a human who undergoes a bunch of mutations, and they're pretty much called mutants at this point because the transformation that they take from human to becoming a witcher requires a lot of potions, a lot of adaptations, a lot of training, and they have enhanced abilities depending on the school of witcher that you come from. There is no mention really of there is mention that there is other witchers that exist, but no mention of the other schools in this series. I'm certain now that Netflix has kind of given people a taste of what The Witcher is, they'll start to expand the universe a lot more in the coming seasons. But yeah, we just really follow Geralt in this one, who's from the School of the Wolf. But yeah, each witcher, depending on the school, has different abilities, different heightened senses. But what Geralt can do is enhance combat, enhance strength. He can basically make potions out of just about anything that he can come across that enhances his abilities even further. We get to see a little bit of that in the show. We don't get to see every single sign in this series, but he can they have abilities that they can basically shoot through their hand. And the one we get to see the most often in this show is Ard, which is basically like a force push is the closest thing I can relate it to. But of course, we get to see a lot of Geralt's enhanced combat skills, and it is so slick and so smooth and so bloody and gory. They show that right off the bat. And he fights Kimura, which is kind of like a big arachnid type creature in the beginning of the series, in the beginning of the first episode actually. And it is pretty gruesome. And then the first fight we get to see with Geralt against humans is he picks them off so clean and so quick, and it is really brutal. There's decapitations as people get stabbed like in the middle of the head, and then Geralt like wraps the blade all around the head. It is really gruesome. It doesn't shy away from the violence, which is actually a really good thing when you're talking about the politics and Nilfgaard, who's kind of like the invading force. The Witcher takes place in a land called the Continent, and Nilfgaard is another empire that's basically coming to conquer this land. And I think it was really good that they didn't shy away from the violence and the brutality of this world, because Geralt is a monster hunter, and then that monster hunting eventually transfers over to killing humans who are no better than monsters in their own ways. When it comes to the monsters that are in this, we get mention of a lot. We do actually get to see quite a lot of monsters. Like I said, we get to see Kimura, we get to see Djinns, we get to see Strigas. Nilfgaard also has like a couple monsters that they use up with their slaves. But the one thing that too I really, really enjoyed about this show is the mages, the magic users in this show. So the best examples that I can really say is Yennefer and Fringilla. They don't shy away from the powers, which I find book adaptations of the fantasy genre, when they take witches or warlocks, mages, anything like that, they tend to shy away from like their full power, but you get to see their full power on display in this series a lot through Yennefer too, and it is pretty visually, it's stunning, it's epic, and they did a really, really good job showing the combats and just how powerful these characters truly are. Story-wise too, I can't really say too much without spoiling it. It took me a little while to catch on, but this show does a really cool job blending the past with present events. It took, like I said, it took me a little while to catch on where exactly in the timeline we were when they were showing these scenes, but near the end of the series, everything comes together, and it does a really, really good job kind of transitioning and showing everyone's motivations for why they are where they are, and the circumstances to why they're kind of at this final battle. And it was really, really, when it all comes together, like I said, it is really, really cool. It's almost like a Dunkirk moments when you realize, oh, this is going to happen now, and they're going to come together at this point. And the pacing of the show is really, really well done. There is some pretty amazing character arcs in this show. I think my favorite one had to be Yennefer's. I think they did an amazing job, for one, showing when we first meet Yennefer, she's really deformed, she's hunchback. A lot of people call her useless because she can't perform the most simple of tasks, but you can see that she has so much intelligence because of all this trauma that's happened to her. And from that intelligence, she's able to basically undergo a transformation, because in this world, beauty is power, and she uses this transformation, that power, against everyone. And it was a great moment, not just for femininity, but also just for, like, it just shows how powerful she is, not just as a mage, but as an individual. She realizes that she can't do everything on her own, and she does it in manipulative ways most every now and then, but she really cares, and it's just everything she does is so powerful, and it was really cool. She probably had my favorite arc in the series. Geralt also has a really good arc too, where he just goes from your typical witcher who's supposed to be a loner, takes jobs for money, kills monsters, but with the brutality he sees from Nilfgaard and just kind of the effect it could have on children, and mainly Ciri, who he has a bond to through the law of promise. He comes full circle in realizing that he has the power to fight for so much more, and it was another arc too. All the characters have really, really good arcs. Ciri discovering her power in the series too was really well thought out. Nilfgaard realizing the threats that they're up against. Everything, just like I said, blends together so well, and it's a really smartly written show. And now that we kind of have the building blocks for this series and the war between the continent and Nilfgaard, I feel like we're gonna get really political and almost even to like Game of Thrones level political scheming in the next series, which I'm really excited to see. The one thing too that I'm really, really happy that the show did is it didn't try to cater to an audience of people who don't know The Witcher. All the terms, all the monsters really kind of just get it's not like they do it without explaining a little bit, but it's not like in your face when they explain what all these terms mean, what these monsters are, the world that they live in. It did a really good job just kind of being like, this is our world, you're gonna get it full force, we're not gonna leave you in the dark about it. But they didn't shy away from what this universe really is about. We get to see like a lot more character focus, which is absolutely fine, but it was able really to throw these characters into a world. And now the world, since we have the building blocks, like I said, is just going to expand a lot more and bring a lot more of the lore of the continent in, which I'm really excited to see further down the line. One thing too that I'm so happy about is the music in this series is absolutely amazing. It makes me feel like I'm playing the game watching it. It has that really old and stringy feeling to the music, and it's really powerful. It kicks in at the most opportune and the best moments, and yeah, it just helped draw me in and make me feel like I was in the game. Yeah, the music was stunning, and the same with the cinematography, all the choreography of the fight scenes. It really made you feel like you were in this land watching The Witcher and all these things come full force. All the episodes too are pretty long. I think there's only one episode that's under an hour long. All of them are kind of around the hour to an hour 10-minute mark, and 8 episodes total. So you get to spend a lot of time with these characters, and does a really good job fleshing them out. The episodes do feel longer than they are, but never in a bad way. It actually, like, you're so invested the entire time, and it's, yeah, this was just a really fun and entertaining series to watch, and I loved, yeah, I have to say, every single minute of it. This season really did a good job kind of just opening up the world, and now that it's fully established, I think the next season we're gonna just get hit with so much, and I'm so excited to see all of it come full force. But yes, I love the first season of The Witcher, and that's why I have to give it my legendary rating, which is equivalent to a 9 to 10 out of 10. But I would have to say this is a 10 out of 10 for me. I loved every single moment of this series, and I'm craving more. I can't wait for more. As always, be sure to drop a like, leave comments in the comment section, leave a subscribe, and yeah, I'm awesome, guys. Have a good one.